Yes, what a guest we've got. The madman Charlie. Thanks for coming on, mate.
No problem, Simon. Thanks for having me, kid.
I've got here the Castlemilk Gazza meets the Dundee Sibo. Would that be about right?
A Sibo take offence to that, Sibo. He's not happy
He wasn't
already.
that bad, was he? Last time I seen you, I just told you there, played against you in a pre-season friendly, Celtic versus Brisbane Roar.
Yep.
You took the piss at us.
No, I don't believe that for a second, to be fair. I think Celtic battered us. I think it was 3-0 in Brisbane. It was a bit of a blur, to be fair, because the whole 2 year there was. But it was a great blur and loved every minute of it. But Celtic came over, I think it was the second season I was there. I didn't start the game, I had a wee double hernia operation, so I'd like to have come on and maybe got a kick at you, but I couldn't get near you.
That's what I was going to make the excuse that I was jet lagged, but you were probably half canned, so it would have been
Your whole team was, that's what I'm going to say. If we get beat 3-0 with that Celtic team, then we definitely
take
will.
that. What about, we've got the shin guards on the day with the jeans?
Yep, they're looking brilliant, mate. Honestly, I'm involved in a company with my mate in London, wee Bobby Hughes. It's Armaflex shin pads. They're amazing shin pads for me. I think they're quality. They don't move. Obviously, you see kids and adults
fixing them all the
time, and it becomes a bit of a pain in the bum. So my mates obviously got these organised, and they're out just last month. So
brilliant, mate.
Hopefully we can get them out there for everybody to see. Because the boy Dean Marnie at Burnley was wearing them,
right?
But he done his cruciate, unfortunately. So now he's getting back to fitness. Right. So
there you go, troops. Get your shin guards in.
Armaflex shin pads, by the way.
There you go. Right, on to the football, mate. How did you find your way into football? Obviously, growing up in Castlemilk, was it just out in the street?
Of course, being a Castlemilk boy, it was just, we didn't have very much, to be honest. Obviously, me and Andy McLaren are very close, and he's for Castlemilk as well, but it used to just be football or drugs, or you had to be very lucky to obviously be successful in Castlemilk at the time, because there wasn't very much money, there was a lot of poverty, but it was a great place. I wouldn't have changed anything, because I loved it, Castlemilk, great people. It's got a lot of people say bad things about it, but it couldn't be further for the truth. As I say, it was a great upbringing for me, and playing football on the streets, it was magic, and that's where I learned how to be an average football player.
Were you always the one that stood up though? Were you always the best player in your scheme?
I wouldn't. We always had a lot of good players. I was always, as I say, Andy McLaren was there, then you've got Gary Brady and people like that.
He was a player, Gary Brady.
Gary Brady was a good player, aye. So we had a lot of good players in Castlemilk, and obviously now James McCarthy, he's for Castlemilk as well. But with a great upbringing, there's been a lot of players came through the ranks in Castlemilk. So you're Eddie and Frank Gray as well, and a lot of other ones, just to name about a few. But like it was, I did okay. My school teams used to win usually, and I used to help them win the trophies.
Were you a Rangers fan growing up?
I had an uncle, a Celtic fan, uncle Rangers fan, so it was a
mixing.
I didn't. I'm Protestant and all that, but it doesn't make a difference to me. I didn't know anything about religion, and still to this day I really don't. But I went and watched both. But obviously Rangers was where I wanted to play. I was at Rangers when I was 9-year-old at Rangers Boys Club, so and it was where I wanted to play.
Who was your idols growing up?
David Cooper was unbelievable. Just watching David Cooper. Paul McStay was a great Celtic player. But Ian Durrant for me was magic. I ended up being fortunate enough to play with Durrant. For what he came back for that injury, he was one of the greatest midfield players in Britain. He was going to be definitely until that injury. We've lost that now because Durrant was dynamic. He used to go behind defences all the time, box to box, and he could play as well. We've not got many players that go in behind defenders anymore,
See, like yourselves, a player that used to try things, like a Gascoigne that was a dribbler. Do you think we're missing that now in young players in Scotland?
Yeah, I think we've got too many players that are very similar. Everybody's told to pass. At my football academy, I just tell the kids to express themselves. I say, go and play. Oh, okay, make your right pass at the right time. You have to learn to do that. But I think in Scottish football, we've got too many kids that are very similar. Because they're getting told to pass, they're getting told, no, beat him, don't you try and beat him, don't. You have to let the players express themselves, let the kids go out and score goals, let them have fun, but obviously they always have to have the ball, always dribbling, touch, head up and whatever,
So see, when you were coming through the ranks at Rangers, were you encouraged to dribble with the ball? Was that like your sort of free spirit? Were you encouraged to be like that?
I was, as a kid, I could always beat people and things like that. So at Rangers then, I think in Scottish football then, the coaches let you express yourself. I think now there's too many, as I say, pass here, just make sure you're passing the ball. Everybody thinks they're Barcelona. Scotland aren't Barcelona. We produce guys for the streets who could go and play. Like I said, the Gleeshes, your Johnsons, your Durants, your Coopers. They all were Glasgow boys, and well, obviously some different areas, but they were all street boys who could go and play, and they just learnt playing in the street. And we've kind of taken that away for the game a wee bit in Scotland.
How did you find it, though, obviously being a wee wide boy for Castlemilk? See, when you went into the actual Rangers youth development, did you need to change the person that you were?
No, definitely not. If I was a wee boy for Glasgow. I'm not saying I was tough or anything like that, but to be the wide boy about me, and I think that helps you a wee bit, you know. The disrespect for people for the richer backgrounds, lucky them, but we used to have a wee bit more dig because we wanted it a lot more, because I used to be playing with Dunlop football boots on with big holes in them. So, but I just wanted to be a football player. That's all I ever wanted to be, and having a wee bit of Glasgow dig always helped.
17 when you made your debut. Young to start. I mean, did you think you were going to make your debut that young when you first went into Rangers? You
always have to think you're going to play it. It was strange because with a couple of injuries and I was carrying hampers. Obviously you've done it yourself when you were away with the first team, and we were up at plethora and we were staying in a ski and do hotel. So obviously I was getting the hampers, getting the boots and whatever, the kits, helping me, Jimmy Bell, do all that. So then we sit down for a pre-match meal as you do, and then Walter named the team. And it was surreal because named McCall, Ferguson, then I said Miller and Haitley. And I was like, Miller? I'm looking around to see if there's another Miller here. It was me, 17-year-old. I was like shocked, but I went out. To be fair, I didn't have a great game. I played up front with Big Mark. I was more of a centre midfield player, just off the front player, but Big Art McLeish, Big Brian Irvin, they gave me a bit of hiding, to be fair, and I struggled that day, to be fair, but the plus point, I got 30 grand that day for making my debut. So I was probably the highest paid player in Britain at that time. So you can imagine what was going through my head, a wee guy for Castlemilk, 30 grand in his hipper. So I went and enjoyed that.
Did Walter say anything to you before your debut, or was it just go and play?
Nothing, because what were expected, because Walter seen me playing reserves and whatever, and I could play, and Walter just expected me to go and play. But I was a wee bit overawed. My first few games that season, I let myself down a wee bit. I came on as a sub against Rafe Rovers, we drew 2 each at Ibrox, and then I played against Kilmarnock at Rugby Park. They had a strong team. The Alan Mitchell's, Tommy Burns' team, who would work hard, and they had to stay up back. They had to want to stay up, and they beat us 1-0, and I was poor that day as well. So I thought next time I get a chance, I'm not going to miss it.
Obviously being so young in that first team, were the older boys tough on you within the squad?
No, they weren't tough. No, they just expected me to go and play. They seen me playing, and they try to help you, obviously. But remember, sometimes I'm playing in front of these guys who are internationals, and they want to play as much as I do. So they're kind of know what to really tell me what to do, what not to do, how to handle this, how to handle that. But they were always good guys. But it's always I want the jersey more than that wee guy, or I want the jersey more than maybe McCall or Ferguson where I was playing, or Neil Murray who was playing at the time, or because you want to play, you get that wee taste for it. You don't want to go back to reserve team football. And the first 3 games I didn't do myself any favours, but I thought the following year I did okay. Who
was the main men at the time in that Rangers team?
Haitley was unbelievable, because it was before Gazza turned up. My first season Laudrup was there. Laudrup was unbelievable. Haitley was, I loved Big Mark as a football player. There was obviously McCall, Goffey, Gorham was in goals. It was just a year after, practically, in the 92-93 season, that they should have been in a European Cup final. So it was a big step forward to go and get into that team, playing reserve team football, then to go and try and get into that team. But it was kind of disbanding a wee bit. McCoist was injured, struggling. I think he had beer calf, he calls it. But it was amazing to play with these guys. Trevor Stevens and things like that. You know?
Top players.
Oh, unbelievable. And then, as I said, Durante.
I was going to ask, see when you break into the first team, you're still living in Castlemilk, what's life like? I mean, is Andy McLaren asking for a tap?
Still to this day. I don't know why, because I've not got 2 bob anymore. But it was, it was amazing to play with these guys. Trevor Stevens and things like that, you know? I was going to ask, see when you break into the first team, you're still living in Castlemilk, what's life like? I mean, is Andy McLaren asking for a tap? Still to this day. I don't know why, because I've not got 2 bob anymore. It was, I didn't realise people knew who I was. I honestly didn't. I was, as I say, a wee guy for Castlemilk. Loved being for Castlemilk, and I'll never deny it. I love my time in Castlemilk. I still see my pals and that there. Family still live there, so it was. I didn't realise people knew who I was.
So were you still living with your mum and?
I lived with my gran, but then
Right.
I had my daughter when I was just 18. My daughter was born in May. I just turned 18 in March. I think it was just turned 19 in March. So. And I moved in with my girlfriend Caroline at the time, so I was still living in Castlemilk. And then once I got into the first team more and more, then you have to kind of gradually move. But I think I only went over to Burnside, which was like 30 seconds away from my mates, because I didn't like to leave my mates as well, you know.
So would you get a bit of banter walking through Castlemilk with Celtic fans and the Rangers fans?
Oh, 100%. But a lot of my mates were Celtic fans, a lot of my mates were Rangers fans, so it was kind of mixed. And my Celtic fan mates who I grew up with were very protective over me, even though they hated me when I was wearing the Rangers jersey, you know. My Rangers fans mates are great lads as well. So I was quite fortunate that it was good a wee guy for Castlemilk growing up to play for Rangers, and a lot of people respected that, but some of them did hate me, don't get me wrong. Some of the people for Castlemilk, they probably didn't like it, but that's one of the things. But I still go to Castlemilk and I still got lots of pals, and I get treated very well, to be fair, up in the Mulshie.
Yeah, you mentioned Walter Smith there. How was he for you as a manager?
Well, he was great, obviously. He believed in me and he brought me into the team. It was the biggest honour I could get is him putting me into the centre midfield with probably Stuart McCall. The second season against Dundee United. It was my first real decent game for the first team, and he believed in me. And then it went for air, and I had a great couple of seasons playing in the midfield. So I owe a lot to Walter. Obviously, I wasn't the easiest wee guy to control, being a wee, as I say, for Castlemilk.
Would he sit you down and would he try and talk to you?
No, he didn't. I think he just expected me to go and, like, okay, you've got a chance to earn a right good living here, or be one of the Rangers greats, and unfortunately, I was a wee bit stupid. I didn't realise what position I was in, and people ask if you get regrets. Of course you've got regrets, but I wouldn't change anything now. But I let myself doing it vital moments, of course, and that's disappointing, because I should have been playing for Rangers for 10, 15 years. But off-field incidents and being a stupid wee boy sometimes didn't help. But Walter was great for me, but also I thought Walter could have done more for me to kind of show me the road a wee bit more. But I still see Walter now, we got on good, and but he was still...
What kind of manager was he? Was he a coach? Would he coach us now?
To be fair, Walter was supposed to be an unbelievable coach. I didn't get to see that side because Walter became manager, obviously. I was there when Souness was the manager, so I was only apprentice then. But then Souness went to Liverpool, then Walter became the manager. So, but everybody says his coaching was amazing. I didn't get to see much yet. We ended up with Archie Knox, who Archie's a great guy and great character, but some of his training methods were mental. But I think the only time I seen Walter on a training ground was when I'd done my ankle ligaments in training, and I was lying in agony, and he just pushed me off at the side and turned my bib and went on for me.
Did he? Were the players scared of Walter?
Of course. Walter was good with the players. Walter had Goffey, Gorham, McCoist, Haitley, Durant, McCall, Ferguson, guys who were all internationals. You had Mikhailchenko and Oleg Kuznetsov, who I watched the 1986 World Cup. These were amazing guys. Trevor Stephen playing in World Cups. So these guys kind of looked after themselves, but they knew how far to go with Walter. So they respected Walter, they loved Walter. And then you had nutcase Gascoigne coming in, and that just adds fuel to fire when you've got him there, you know what I mean?
We'll get to him in a minute. What's the worst you ever seen on Moses Rag, Walter Smith?
I didn't see him lose his rag much.
Were you never on the receiving end there?
Oh, 100%. Every time you get a finger, it was in his office. But he was calm, Walter. He wouldn't go mental. He was, unless we played a right bad game, but he was never... Walter would never ever really go mental. He'd keep everything indoors, obviously, as well, but Walter let the players deal with it. See if we had played a bad performance, Goffey would take control, Coisty would take control, and then they'd all battle with each other, and then after that we'd have a fight with each other. Everything's starting to change in him. Walter let the boys... Right, you sort it, you're men, you're internationals. What can Walter... Obviously Walter can be there to a wee bit of guidance, but the boys seem to kind of, okay, that wasn't good enough today, let's do better next time.
So would your Goffs and that be tough on you if you say you had a bad game?
100%. Walter was tough on me a wee bit more because of being a wee guy for Glasgow, coming through the ranks and expecting more from me. I remember as I torn my ligaments and we were getting beat 1-0 with Kilmarnock at half time, and he came in and changed, and this is probably one of the days that he was really upset, and he's slotting the teams, and I'm just sitting there with my crutches, and he goes, "And you fat." I'm like, I'm not even playing here. You love drinking beer, you think you can drink beer and play football? And that was it, and then he just walked out, and I'm like, I'm not even bloody playing. So I was kind of gutted, I'm like, all right then. And the back of the boys went out and won anyway, but that was just one of Walter's wee rants at me, because I think he knew I should have been playing more and doing more, and then the boys went out and won at half time because they dealt with ourselves. But just, Walter was good, but I think I didn't know what I was supposed to do.
So, see, you mentioned all the big players. Was it hard competing for your place against those players?
It was, of course it was. It was training. Training was ridiculous. We didn't do much shape. We didn't do much. Don't get me wrong, we done running at pre-season, but the way we trained, we'd do possession boxes. You know, it's like we talk.
The wee boxes.
But we went into the games, the training games. We'd play 7-a-sides. My word, it was the way you played on a Saturday. It was full throttle, honestly. It was full on, and nobody wanted to lose. I'm telling you, John Browns and all that, just kicking the living daylights at you. So that was a great upbringing for me. Train the way you play, and we were always fit. We trained hard. Tuesdays we'd train hard, then we'd be out Tuesdays getting drunk and having lunch, and having Wednesdays off, and then back in on a Thursday.
Great life, eh?
It was a great life, but I just didn't realise how good a life I had if I looked after myself.
What were the aims for that team at the time? Was it to get 9 in a row, or was Europe something that you wanted to do as well?
For me, just being part of the team was surreal for me to be playing with these guys. A year and a half ago earlier, they'd nearly got to European Cup final. Of course, David Murray was bringing in like Gascoigne's, Laudrups. They were obviously wanting to take the next step to get us into, to keep us at the top table, really. Unfortunately, it didn't really work out. But we always, 9 in a row was a big thing, obviously. Celtic done it in the 60s or whatever it was, but for the guys who were there for the beginning, like your Coisties, your Goffies, your Durants, it meant everything to them.
Would you speak about it?
No. But we take every game one at a time. That's the old saying. But we used to know, right, okay, we have to win this game. If we had a couple of bad games, we always knew that we had enough to beat Celtic. That's always, because Celtic had some great players, and Andy Gorham. Celtic fans obviously hated Andy Gorham, and so did some of the players, because the guy was ridiculous. A flying pig could save anything. I'm not joking you, this guy was unbelievable. But we always had the wee game changers and Laudrup and Durant and Gascoigne and that. So, but we always wanted to get to 9. Unfortunately, 10 didn't happen because I thought we 10 were high off the ball a wee bit and maybe brought in too many foreigners that year. Don't get me wrong, good players like Sir Sergio, Perini, Marco Negri, and Stolly Stensas and Jonas Tern, and that great. Jonas Tern was unbelievable. But I thought we 10 were high off the ball a wee bit, and then selling Gazza late in the season when we didn't have to, I didn't think. But
how was Duncan Ferguson in that Rangers team?
Oh,
he's pally.
Oh, I love Big Dunk. And when I see him, I still obviously speak to him. He was a great guy. Big Dunk was the most generous. He was a generous big guy, and because he came from Dundee United on probably £250 a week to Rangers on, I don't know, £4,000 a week, and I had a couple of nights out with him and Stirling and things like that, and he'd look after him. A great guy. Just unfortunate at the time that Big Mark Catley was still unbelievable, because I believe that Big Dunk would have been the perfect one to take over for Big Mark, but Big Dunk being Big Dunk, he was no arrogant, but he wanted to play and expected to play, and it just didn't work out for the big man. But what a great guy, what a great player. Obviously, had a few injuries, unfortunately, but the guy was. Is he a
madman?
Oh my word, he was a bear. I'm not joking. He looks as if he's a big skinny guy, no chance. I look fat, but it's really all muscles. You know?
Would the big man like a night out as well?
Oh, aye, big bump did. I think he's obviously calmed down now. He's well respected down at Everton, and he's obviously in the coaching staff there, and I wish him all the best because he was a great guy, great player, and great company.
Obviously, you mentioned Gascoigne comes, him, McCoist. Was it a great dressing room to be in?
It was unbelievable. Was
it laughs all the time?
Oh, it was ridiculous because it was younger brigade. Obviously, myself, McInnes, Craig Moore, Alec Cleland. He was a wee bit. He no part at all. Frederick. We called Alec Frederick Van Forehead because of the size of his teeth. Found that one, you know. So, but it was the young ones against the likes of Durante, Coiste, Gazza, and all that. So we used to have some banter was flying about, and it was great. It was just you actually looked forward to going into training to see what was going to happen.
What sort of stuff would Gascoigne do in the training ground?
Well, I was telling somebody the other day. Well, it was I was at a wedding, my cousin's wedding a few months ago, and I was sitting at a table with a couple of people I didn't know, and I was telling the boy was a big Rangers fan. I was up at Jordan Hill, and this wee boy came up to Gazza and said, "Gazza, will you sign this ball for us?" And Gazza gets, "Aye, no problem," and boots the ball right onto the main road, right out of this fence. And I'm going, "What did you do that for?" And the guy who's sitting at the table with me went, "That was me." It was his ball that Gazza kicked there. And I'm going, "No danger, it wasn't you, was it?" And he says, "Hi." So I said, "Would you not come back for?" And he says, "I just thought Gazza hated me." Because Gazza, if he came back with the ball, Gazza would give him a t-shirt or something and signed the ball. It was just Gazza's way of getting nerves out his system before training, or just his madness.
Did he wind other players up?
Did he wind other players up? Oh, he'd done stupid things. Gazza was just, he couldn't sit at peace. Like so, I seen Jockey Bjorkman did that snooze. So Gazza sends Jimmy Five Bellies. It takes him, he sends Jimmy Five Bellies to Norway to get snooze for him. But Gazza thinks it's funny by sending him via Russia. And it takes him 2 days to get to Sweden, I think it was, for snooze. That was just some of the things Gazza done. And then, like so, when Gazza scored the goal against Scotland at Wembley, he's got 2 cones in the changing room. He's got a mop as Colin Henry. The goalie comes in at one end. The goalie used to come in angry every morning. So Gazza's waiting for the goalie to come in, flicks it out of the mop seat, which is Colin Henry, and then catches it in the full volley into the bottom corner. So you seen Andy, imagine Andy Golden's face. So that was just some of the things that Gazza done. And
would he not steal people's gear as well?
Alec Cleland's. Gazza, when Gazza was smart, he'd come in with the top Versace suit on you've got, probably about a grand's worth or whatever it was. And Alec Cleland was a nice, smart guy. And so Gazza would wear his Versace clothes for about 3 or 4 days. Had stains all over it and everything. So he'd get in, and Alec Cleland's, I said, nice and smart. He'd take Alec Cleland's gear, put Alec Cleland's gear on, and leave his Versace suit for Alec Cleland. So Gazza would wear that suit for 2 or 3 days, and then put it back at Alec Cleland's place. And Alec Cleland would come in with Gazza's suit, dry clean, perfect for him. Gazza, oh, cheers, right back on. That was just some of the things.
Brilliant. Did Gascoigne love you?
Oh, we had some great part. It was. I used to go down to visit him down at the Loch Lomond, down at the Cameron House. They stayed in the lodges, play snooker, have a few beers and that with some of my mates, because my mates were in awe Gazza, you know what I mean? And I was still a wee bit annoying because I couldn't believe I was actually in the same changing room as this guy. But some of the things, and I was telling somebody the other week, I do a wee bit of Q&As and that sometimes, and we were going for a Tuesday afternoon session, as we did, because we had Wednesday off, and we went into the district bar, and Gazza was smart this day. He had a shirt on, he was looking brilliant. So in the district bar, a couple of beers, and this wee woman, remember the Timberland jumpers that everybody in Scotland had? This wee woman had one of them on, she's like, "Gazza, give me your shirt, please, give me your shirt. And Gazza going, fuck off. So then, after a bit, I knew ends up going, "Oh, here." So she gave him a Timberland jumper, so he shoved the Timberland jumper on. So we're heading into the steps, into the tune, and the Timberland jumper's a wee bit smelly, B.O. by it. It was reeking, so I went, "Get that out." So he flings the Timberland jumper out the windy and Paisley Road West, heading into the tune, as well as the headdress. They thought that'd be funny as well, flinging a headdress out. Just stupid guy. So we stop it right across for the central station where the Radisson Blue is, and it was a Sue Ryder shop. And he goes, "Stop." So he goes into the Sue Ryder shop. Well, what's he doing? Goes into the Sue Ryder shop, takes his gear off and walks back out in a dress. They're like, "This is Paul Gascoigne." Just a dress. He goes back in the motor and just sits in the motor. And Hank's nothing here. You're like, "You're a strange character, boy."
Would he go up with the dress on?
He went into the steps bar, we sat there for about 6 hours and he was sitting with his dress on. at 6 hours, and then they phoned Jimmy, 5 bells, to come up from Newcastle, go to Italian Centre, which Gazza was 100 feet from, to go and get him a shirt and jeans. So it just sat there all day with the dress on. It was just some man.
Did you ever take him out in Castlemilk now?
Oh, I had him up Castlemilk a couple of times.
No way.
Aye, Jimmy 5 bells came up to Castlemilk a few times up with Labour Club and things like that. And so it was a wee bit, but Gazza's a...
Would he not bother? Would he not care now who he was sitting on there?
No, they didn't. They didn't. I'd be Barry up at the Labour Club as well. You know, Barry Ferguson. So he obviously knew a few of the boys up there, and it was a wee bit eye opener at first for him. But Barry settled in, and it was.
Somebody told us a story about one night you were out and you woke up early the next morning and you looked out and was it Simon Donnelly that was playing football across the road?
No, that was me. We stayed in Burnside. Simon stayed in Burnside as well, but me and my wife stayed in Burnside. We used to have a Super Sunday. I used to get all my mates there and get kebabs and a big car going on a Sunday, watch Super Sunday. That was me looking after myself as well, as I did. So Simon and his mates were out the back. His mate Brian and all that, who I knew, good guys. So all my mates, like, out the back, big football pitch. So my mates, tanked top, full of kebabs and get all my football strips on and run out the back, pished. All playing against Simon Donnelly and all that. Half of them were wanting to cuddle with Simon, half of them were wanting to kick him. So this is just surreal. Out my back, me and Simon in one team each, and just my mates all bloated trying to kick 11 delegates out of with Simon. So it was just a typical thing. And before it was typical being for Castlemilk, that you'd have a Super Sunday, kebabs filled, beer-fueled Sunday.
Kick about.
And then we'd kick about with all the gear on.
See, when you were hanging about with Gascoigne a lot, would any of the other players kind of tell you to stay away now?
Everybody loved Paul. Gazza was just the nicest heart in the world, and he had a big heart, and he just wanted obviously, Cheryl, he wanted her to love him, and I don't think it was working very well, obviously. And we were a big family for Gazza, and we all got on well with Gazza. Not one person
had a bad word to say about
him. But and then I played with Big Alberts and things like that, and who loved him, and everybody loved him. Big Alberts was one of the best stories. Me and Big George, us two were the smokers, weren't we? So me and my Big George were best mates. Big George was brilliant. So we're in training one day, and I'm trying to pass the ball through to Marco Negri, and George just went, "Why do you not pass the ball to me?" I says, "George, I try to pass the ball through to Marco." So he kept on going. I says, "Shut up, you German bastard." And he goes, "What'd you say?" And George was man now, by the way. George was a big guy. So I tried to pass the ball through to Marco. And he went, no, after that, and I went, "German bastard." And he went, "Bloater stuck in nothing, me."
No way.
He did. So I've given him two of my best. Castlemilk one's bloated and he's not even moved. So I'm like, "Oh no." So I've grabbed his arms, big shovels, before he starts laying them onto me. So I've just grabbed him, held on for dear life. We're on about to grin. He's trying to bite my ear, but I'm not letting the arms go. Bite whatever you want, but I'm not letting the big punches flow, or I'm a dead man. So Jokey Bjortland, I love him, comes in and breaks us up because I was getting the tap with him. I was going to battle George. And there was Coisty and Archie and Walter were standing at the side. And Coisty Coisty's words were, "Charlie boy, you weren't even second favourite to win that fight, son." So we get back to Ibrox after it, and we're having a cigarette. George is a red Marlboro and I'm a white Marlboro. I says, "What happened there?" And he went, I don't know, he said the black mist went there. And I still see Big George were in Berlin. So I was very fortunate to play with people like this and who I still keep in touch with. And that was just because I became a Rangers player, and I appreciate that, you know what I mean?
Was McCoist's partner good?
He thinks it's good. We were in Dubai last week, obviously. Andy McLaren was there as well, and Big Colin Henry, the goalie, Robbie Winters, Simon Donnelly. And playing against England boys, Seth Johnson, Lee Hendry and Mikey Gray. Great banter, a great few days, because we missed the snow here. But Coisty thinks he's funny. He thinks he can sing as well. He's no bad. His banter's decent, to be fair.
Good banter. What's the story about Beckham wearing your boots when he scored that goal? Is that true?
Well, it was true, yeah. I think he stole a lot of magic out of my boots. I think that's why I was doing all right then, and he gets the magic boots from taking all my magic out of him. But what happened was, I was sponsored by Adidas. Me and Gazza was obviously the older pro sponsor of Adidas at the time, and I was young boy breaking through. I was sponsored by Adidas. So there was a boy called Beckham at Man United, who Adidas were looking at a sponsor as well, so there was the Predators and the Adidas Charlie on the tongue. So, what'd you call it? David Beckham was obviously a size 8, and Adidas sent him a size 8 with my name on them. And sure enough, Lobs,
Sullivan,
Neil
wasn't it?
Sullivan at the Wimbledon game. Man United won 3-0 that day. Lobs, Neil Sullivan finished his own half, and the rest was history. He's still got the boots. I'm actually looking for a line of them now. I want them back now because they're worth a few quid.
You must be due a few quid off of that, eh?
Oh, 100%.
I think I've been wearing your Timberlands every Saturday.
You reckon they afford Timberlands, by the way? It's Dunlops.
How much did you used to relish the games against Celtic?
Oh, they were magic. Because, as I say, playing against people like Paul McStay, it was what an honour that was to play. But playing alongside Durant and McCoist and Haitley and McCalls, things like that, Laudrups, Gazzas, it was. We always knew, as I said, we always knew about the edge. But just to play in that atmosphere, and it was magic. It was because people think, is it no some noise and things like that? I didn't hear anything. I think it may have been because of the totties on my ears, because I didn't wash my ears properly, but you can hear everything on the pitch, but you don't really hear the atmosphere because you have to kind of drown out. You're that concentrated in the game. And there were magic matches to play in, and I remember playing at Ibrox. We drew 1 each, and we were winning 1-0, and Big Yogi Hughes scored late on. So I was standing in the back post, and Chick Chandler was giving me dogs abuse. He was at the front of the Celtic end. So I'm going like that to him, 1-0, 1-0, and that. And then Big Yogi gets one in the back post, and Chick Chandler's getting it. Yeah! So he was giving the dogs abuse. But it was great games, obviously great atmosphere. When you come out at first for the warm-up, you can feel the tension, you know. But I was fortunate enough never to lose one. I played in 12. Started 6, came on as 6. So I never lost an Old Firm derby.
What was your favourite one? Can you look back?
My first one I played at Hampden. Celtic were obviously playing at Hampden because Celtic Park was getting tidied up. And I was lucky enough to rob Tam Boyd, the ball off Tam Boyd, and put Big Mark Haitley through, and he curled one past Big Gordon Marshall. We won 3-1 that day. But Tam Boyd didn't forget that, because we played in the January, and I was playing up front against him. First 10 minutes, I came to chest the ball, and he's came right through the back of me, knee on the back. I had a bruise about that side in my back, had to go off.
Oh, did you straight away?
I came off at half time. I tried to get on with it, but I learned there and then. I says, guys, don't forget. So Big Tam left one on me. Yeah,
you crossed the ball for Laudrup's winning goal to secure 9 in a row. Would that be your proudest moment in a Rangers jersey?
It was one of the proudest, of course. Nobody can take that wee small part of 9 in a row. It was probably one of the biggest nights in Rangers history, and I was a very, very small part in it, but it was obviously a game to win 9 in a row, and I was just fortunate enough to get a game, because the Monday we played Motherwell, and I was involved in a car crash at Strathclyde Park. I ended up in an embankment in the Sunday before they obviously we got to the town on the Sunday, and they were playing the Monday. So I wasn't even in the squad. I wasn't even in the bench. I was in the stand on the Monday, and only Coyle scored 2 goals, beat us 2-0 at Ibrox. So that meant we played on the Wednesday. Excuse me. And if we win that, we win 9 in a row. If we win the Monday, the party was ready to start. You know what I mean? I didn't feel part of it, and I wasn't playing that much that season. I couldn't have played that many games. But then Walter named me on the Wednesday. I was shocked, so I thought, I'm not going to miss this chance. Sure enough, Andy McLaren's chasing me down the line. I whipped the ball into Laudrup. The assistant hit Laudrup, and he didn't even header it. Because he never scored a header for a year at Ibrox, by the way. It was that good a cross. It was just strange. Muller crossed the ball into Laudrup. It was usually Laudrup crossed the ball into everybody else. But I connected with the cross well. Laudrup, what a header it was unbelievable. And we won 1-0, and it was just great to be part of that, and I'll never forget it.
No, that you probably never went, but how was the night after it?
I never went. To be fair, we were playing on the Saturday. We were playing because we had Hearts game on the Saturday at Tynecastle. So we went to the place called Reds in the Toon after it. But it was a kind of a surreal thing. Me seeing the older boys who, like McCoist and all that, and Goffey was crying after when he was picking the trophy up. They seen the pressure coming off of these guys. And as I said, I was still a young boy, 21 or whatever I was, and I didn't feel it, but I actually felt a wee bit of relief that night, but obviously you could see the pressure coming off of these guys. But we ended up in Reds, and it wasn't a big part, because obviously we were playing on a Saturday, so a couple of beers, Gazza was still on his strip, that madman coming down from Dundee, we're going through Georgia Square and all that, and he still got his strip on, he's standing tapping the parts of Hamilton bus with his strip on, with a trophy. It was just that mad nutter, so. But then obviously we played on the Saturday, we were up at Edinburgh on the Friday for the hotel, and I'm sure Walter got Durant, McCoist, McInnes and that drunk, and I got sent to my bed.
Did you?
Aye. Walter went, new bed, so I was gutted. But I was a sub as well on a Saturday. Back to normality.
Was that the best moment in a Rangers shirt, 9 in a row?
No, I know, because I was better. Obviously, it was one of the most important nights, but I played a lot of very good football games for Rangers, and I loved playing at Ibrox. Ibrox was what a place to play. If you couldn't play Ibrox, you can't play anywhere. And see, playing in that pitch when you were on it and the fans were behind you, there was no a better feeling. So, but obviously, Tannadice night was obviously one of the great nights. But just my first real game at Ibrox had started, it was against Dundee United, against Billy McKinlay. And we beat them 2-0. Laudrup scored a wonder goal, 1-2. That was where then I really felt I belong here. But don't take it for granted, which sometimes I probably did, because winning 4 league titles or whatever, I thought this was going to go on forever and ever. Well, it shocks you. Next minute you're out the door at Watford, down to Watford, you know. And Goffey used to always say to me, Charlie, enjoy it while it lasts, son, because it doesn't last long. And there's no truer word spoken. And I thought then, I was 17, 18, whatever, 19, and Goffey's 35 or whatever. And I thought, all right, old man. But it flies in. Flies in.
You mentioned Laudrup, Gascoigne, McCoist. Who'd have been the best that you played with at Rangers?
Gascoigne and Laudrup were phenomenal, and everybody asked me the question, and they were brilliant. Laudrup for 2 years was unbelievable. I thought the year we could have won 10 in a row, I thought Laudrup had already said he was going to Chelsea, and then he wanted to get injured and whatever. And then Gazza, the first 2 years was unbelievable. Then he had his marriage problems with obviously Cheryl, and he gets sold the 10 in a row year. But the two of them were unbelievable. Gazza could change a game in a minute, so could Laudrup. But I love Durant. Just for me to play with Durant, it was see what that guy came back for. His knees about that size with the amount of scars he's got on it. But for him to come back for what he did, it was phenomenal. And I love Ian Durant, and still to this day, I still see him, and we used to have a great laugh. So I always say Durant, but Laudrup and Gascoigne, I wouldn't split them.
Right. Okay. Obviously, you said you're at the door. What led to you leaving Rangers?
Well, obviously it was Walter had left and Advocate came in. And to be fair, I thought I wasn't as fit as I should have been or whatever, but Advocate came in and he'd signed a lot of great players. He'd brought wee Barry in. Barry was his main player in centre of midfield, and that's fine, you get that, and you don't mind as long as he gives you the chance. So he brought in obviously Van Bronckhorst, Newman, a lot of boys, Gabby Amato and things like that, and bloody good players. And then Stefan Kloss and Charbonnet were the goalkeepers. But I signed a 2-year contract under Advocate, and I got on well with Advocate, and he was a good guy. But I said to him, if I sign this contract, then if I get a chance I stay in, because I knew he fancied players more than he did me. That's understandable. He's brought in his players. And he said, of course, if you do well, then you stay in. So I signed the contract August, September. I waited to December the 26th. We're playing Stenhousemuir at Ibrox, Scottish Cup game, and I hadn't started the game. That was my first start.
Really,
I was on the bench
December.
every game, on the bench. You know, it's like no match fitness, but we're playing against Stenhousemuir. We win 2-0. You're expected to win. I didn't have a great game. I didn't play well. I know that. But then we played Dundee on Wednesday night at Dens Park, and I scored 2 in the league. We won 4-0 at Dens Park. I scored the first 2 goals, I think. We won 4-0 Wednesday night at Dens Park. It was never easy to go up to Dens Park. And I got the wee bottle of champagne after it. So we're playing Aberdeen at Plethora on the Saturday, and I'm thinking, right, okay, I'm feeling good now.
Getting a wee run.
And I got on for a minute on the Saturday. It was heartbreaking. I never wanted to leave Rangers. It was just I wanted to play football. And I ended up going to Leicester on loan. Played 3 games at Leicester and I got injured against Newcastle. Then I came back to Rangers, obviously, because I was only on loan. And then I got a letter through my door saying that I have to report with the young ones, signed off by David Murray, but the advocate sanctioned
See,
it.
just on that, see, when you weren't playing at Aberdeen, would you go and see him and say what's happening there?
I would have, but I'd said I need to play. I want to play. I'm at the stage now where I'm not playing. I'm 20, I think it was 23, 22, 23, and I'd be playing for 5 years or whatever it was. And I wanted to play. I just wanted to play. I didn't want to leave Rangers. No, I didn't want to leave Rangers, but I was disappointed only getting on for a minute.
But see, like, how you only got in for a minute? See, the next day, would you go and chap his door and ask him?
I would, of course, but
just the usual.
It's just, well, he's a manager, but which is understandable. And don't get me wrong, the boys that played in midfield that day were Kanchelskis, Barry Ferguson, Alberts, and Neil McCann.
Top players.
So they weren't the bad players. So I accepted that he fancied other players better than me. But the biggest thing is him not telling me that. See if he comes face to face and says, Charlie, you're training my young boys, we want you to leave. Right, okay. But sending a letter from my door signed off by David Murray, that was horrible. And then I met Dick Advocate, and obviously in the reception at Ibrox, the marble staircase at Ibrox, and he goes, hey Charlie, how are you? And I'm in the wage against him, and he doesn't think you've done anything wrong. I said, what do I want to speak to you for? I said, just tell me to my face that you don't want me and I can handle that. And then he phoned John Viola, who was my agent, obviously, and he says, why is Charlie not speaking to me? And He's like, Charlie's been there since he was 10-year-old. If you say to him, then he's understandable. If a manager tells you, wait, we don't want you, then you get more respect for the man. You have, honestly, it's a true thing. But
so it's a bit sad, eh?
That was sad. It was sad. McInnes played. They won the treble that season, and McInnes was in and out as well. But McInnes had played in the Scottish Cup final against Celtic, and when Rod Wallace scored the winner in 80 minutes or whatever it was, and McInnes had got the same letter, and he'd played the last game of that season. So you can imagine him as well. He was even more gutted because I was on loan, don't get me wrong, but he'd played the last game of the season, and he got the same letter. It's not a way to go about things, but sometimes Advocate done things that he didn't think sometimes, but he was a good manager and he was a good guy as well. I still, when I left to go to Watford and come back to Dundee United, I spoke to Dick and he was good. He's still a good man.
Just the wee last bit you mentioned there, how good was Ferguson as a youngster?
Barry was a very good football player. I love Barry playing in the centre of the park. See, playing in that sitting one, I thought he controlled games. He played against I think he was about 20, and he's playing against Mateus, and he was unbelievable.
Did you know he'd be a top player?
Oh, if Advocate probably didn't come in, he probably wouldn't have played at Rangers very much. But Advocate loved him, and fair dues to Advocate. He played with Barry, and Barry was exceptional at a position. I was disappointed when Barry left because I thought he was just growing into a proper player. He could have went to maybe a Liverpool or a Man United, and they went to Blackburn. And I thought, he's better than that. I thought
Arthur Newman said the same thing.
And then he was just beginning to fly in the Premier League, and he could have went to Newcastle's, or he could have went, and then he came back to Rangers. I'm thinking, man, you could have went and ran amok and that. Well, not ran amok, but he could have been playing against the Gerrards every week and shown how good he was, because he was a proper footballer. And then he came back to Rangers. Not that I didn't want him back to Rangers, of course I did, but I thought for his own career he should have went higher. But what a football player he was.
So you end up, it's like what?
Like his brother Derek, what a football player he was.
Was he a good player, Derek? Was he? Derek does the Coupons.
Derek, phenomenal football player, Derek. And Derek and Barry were very similar. The way they run, the way they played. And Barry learned a lot from Derek, who's a wonderful football player. Him and Durant were tremendous.
Good. So were you always keen to go to Watford, or no really?
Not particularly. We were in the Premier League and I didn't really want to leave Rangers, but it was time for me to go. And
was there other teams?
I could have signed for Charlton at the same time.
Right.
I think there was a few teams. When you're playing at Rangers, you've usually always got a few options. But I went down to Watford and I went and played a game against Charlton. That's when it was. Then the next, I'd said to Graham Taylor, who was my manager, I'd agreed to sign him. And supposedly Charlton wanted to sign me the next day, but Charlton were in the Championship at the time. But they played football. Whereas Watford were, Graham Taylor's done unbelievable well to get Watford for the 4th division, 4 consecutive years to get them to the Premier League. But they were direct.
Never suited your style, no?
Never suited me at all. But Graham Taylor was rest in peace. He was a strange man sometimes, but he's a Watford legend, and obviously I'm glad he gave me the chance to go to Watford, because I met some great guys down at Watford, but it just wasn't the right team for me. And then obviously Peter got to go about my fitness or whatever, but it wasn't the right team for me. But they were a great club, and I enjoyed my time there, but I just had to get away. But Graham Taylor's, some of his things was...
What would he do?
He used to, on a Saturday morning, before we played a home game, he used to have us in at 9 o'clock and do a warm-up. Then he would do a team talk, and then we'd go to the hotel and have a pre-match meal. By the time you get back to the stadium, you're absolutely knackered. So that was just some of the things. And I remember him doing one of his team talks one day, and he said, I'm just walking down by the river with my ducks, and I see a couple of ducks shoving their heads in the water. And I thought, how lucky are my football players? And then he walked out the door. And I'm like, what the hell's happening here? We're playing Liverpool that day, by the way. Gerrard, Fowlers, Owens, Smeetser, Berger. And that was his team talk. Usually stood and talked for about 2 hours.
Be sure he wasn't at you the night before?
Oh my word. Graham liked his red wine. But he was a lovely guy.
So you returned to Scotland with Dundee United. What was it about United that you fancied? Just getting back up the road?
Just to get back to play. Just to play, and Alex Smith wanted me. But Dundee United were in a terrible position. I think we only did 5 points or something, and it was November. I remember making my debut. I came up in the... it was going for Rangers to Watford. Premier League at Watford, and again. And he gives me a big Lee Cox Sportive bag. And I said, what's that? He said, that's your training gear, you take it home and wash it. I couldn't believe it. I've been at Rangers and went to Watford. So I went to Dundee United. This is Watford in the Premier League, so I'm going to Dundee United now. I'm like, right, okay, surely the boys do the jobs up there, the apprentices do it up there. So I'm not joking, I went up, I've had the baggiest pair of shorts, I've had a big black TFG training top with a big hole at the side there, and I'm training at the local park at the, what's it called again? At the ice rink.
Camperdown?
Camperdown. That's where I'm going. I'm going, what the hell? But that was my first day. Played the next day against Motherwell. We lost 2-1 at Fir Park. But then we ended up doing well. We were right near the boat. We were bottom by miles. St Mirren were just a wee bit in front of us. But we ended up surviving. We beat St Johnstone 3-2 in the last game of the season to stay up. But it was brilliant. I had 4 great years at Dundee United. Obviously, Rangers, I loved it. Good dressing room.
Who were some of the characters that played it?
Oh, big turkey touch, big Tomo. Stephen Thompson was there.
Big turkey touch.
Honestly. Eastie was a great boy. Loveliest wee guy in the world.
Played with Eastie at Sunderland. He's a good lad, didn't he?
Great guy. Honestly, I used to give him a rugby ball because he used to just pass the ball sideways all the time. But boy, could that wee guy run. Then I had Jimmy the Lock. Derek Lilly came in at the same time. I had the wee boy Bet on Nevada. What a foot player he was going to be. I mean, him signed the same day. And he was best mates with Caniggia. And obviously Caniggia was at Dundee at the time. So they've asked me my questions, then I went on to Beto and Nevada. And we didn't ask him about his foot, we just went Caniggia, and he went, if you want to go and ask, he was brilliant. He said, if you want to ask questions about Caniggia, go over the road and ask him. I'm here to play for Dundee United. I was like, good on you, because I'd never even heard him, I never met him. But could he play? He was brilliant. He'd done his knee in about his 3rd game. Set us back a wee bit, but he was a good player. But but it's a great change in Big Jim Hamilton and that. And
was it Alex Smith, the manager?
Was he
good with you?
Alex Smith. Oh, I loved that. Big slope was there. John Blackley, V. Tom McLean, Hegarty, Mo Malpass. Great guys to
Would they let you just go and play?
Well, Alec played me in the hole. And then I had Danny Griffin, and then Stevie James McCunney came in and done well for us that season. Paul Gallagher became in the goalie. But we ended up doing all right. We ended up doing okay.
I want to know why your nickname was the Spider-Man. And you can stand up and show us him.
I don't have to show you there. The taxi drivers in Dundee, I think they called me the Spider-Man, because every time I came home for the pub, he used to take me for a kebab. So I'd get the kebab, and then I couldn't find my way to the door, so I'd leave the kebab on the steps, try to find my way to the door. I'd get myself into the house, I'd shut the door, like up in the morning, and that bloody kebab was still sitting there. I'm like, so they used to call me Spider-Man because I used to try and find my way into the house.
Brilliant.
Aye, so I enjoyed my time up at Dundee, and it was.
What was your high points up there?
Well, Alex, McCauley came in, Ian McCall came in for a while, and we had the chance to go and be a good team. Obviously, myself and Paul Gallagher left when we were just kind of building a stronger team, and that kind of hurt us a wee bit. But my time staying up that year, because we were dead and buried that year, the first year. We were dead and buried, and then obviously myself and wee Beto and Jim Laughlin that came in, and we done well. Big Divorce was there, Big Divorce a good player.
Did you get on with McCall?
I got on well with McCall. Because he was trying to sign me on a new contract again, but I'd had enough of Scottish football, and I wanted to try something different. And then Cauley came out for a pint to try and get me to sign a new contract. And I ended up 10 pints deep in a kebab.
His kebabs.
2 years kebabs, that was that.
Fancy one after
us? Tomorrow.
Fancy one after us?
Oh, definitely. I'm off them now, look at that.
You're looking well, mate. So obviously you go overseas. Any good stories for Norway and Belgium for us?
Oh, Norway. You must know the one in Norway.
No. Come on, gaze it.
Oh, the boys in Norway, I swear, I get great lads. Good team, 25,000 seat stadium in Bergen. Brilliant, the fans were amazing. Sold out every home game. Amazing. Played with some great players, Martin Andreasen, the captain of Norway, and Alan Hunsfeld, Raymond Fitzfig, obviously Robbie Winters, still pal with Robbie now, was there, which helped me settle in Cattle Gunfight. So I was horrible. I used to do hunters things to him. And Martin Andreasen had a Harley Davidson, and I remember he used to leave it outside, obviously at the front door, and I'd put yogurts and all that in his helmet. And it squashed bananas and that, so he's just put it on it by going his face, things like that. So I'd hammer their shoes to the grin and all that.
How would they take that? Could they not take it?
They were great. They'd just go, Charlie! So I used to have them up to mine for Scottish breakfast and all that. See, square sausage and black pudding and that, because they were fitness freaks. I've never trained so hard in all my life, but my car was up in the car park. And we were doing in the gym. I was in the gym, by the way. Hard to believe. So the kit man's come in and went, Charlie, the police are moving your car up the stair. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because they used to deal with everything for us. Honestly, they were great. So I went up the stair, and I'm like, mate, what are you doing? Mate, that's my car. Obviously, I try to speak slower. Mate, that's my car. This was involved in an armed robbery last night. I says, mate, couldn't have been. I'm just back from Spain. My missus had that motor, so I've stuck her in right away. I've deflected right away. So, sure enough, they opened the back door. This motor's going in the back of this tow truck. This is a Norwegian FBI. So, it's going back, and they open the back door, and they pull a knife that size and a ski mask. And I'm going, what the bloody hell's happening here? So, there's a wee guy handcuffed next to the police motor. He's like a B.A. Baracus thing. And the next minute, this motor speeds around the corner. The guy's got a ski mask going. Speeds around the motor. My pants joined the brownies. I've got to tell you the truth. My pants did. I'm like, oh, what the hell's happening here? So the wee guy is handcuffed next to the police motor, goes and jumps in the motor and shouts, Charlie, tell them nothing. And the motor speeds away. And the police are chasing after the motor. And I'm like, holy shit. So I walk up and the police goes, what does it mean, Charlie, tell them nothing? I'm going, I have no bloody idea. I said, I think I need a lawyer. So by this point, the boys came out with Oscar. They've punked me. I got Norwegian punked. Mate, it was brilliant. It's on, you get it on YouTube. It's brilliant.
Did you get your back in Castlemont when all that was happening?
Honestly, I didn't know what had happened. I'm like, was I really that drunk last night?
Brilliant for the boys, though, eh?
The boys, honestly.
Tremendous.
Brilliant. So if you look at YouTube, you'll see Charlie Muller punked. It was good.
And then over at Australia, mate, Brisbane Roar and Gold Coast United.
Well, I was in, obviously, Belgium first. I had a great year and a half there. Great time. And then I obviously played with Leas in Belgium. Great time, loved it. Then I went to Brisbane with Craig Moore was over there. Me, Bob, Malcolm and Craig Moore.
Bob had his ice cream van over
there. I think at that point he was eating lots of ice cream as well.
Good life though?
Great life. But obviously Danny Teatto was playing with us as well, who played with Man City and Leicester. Great guy. So the 4 hours used to travel up every day. It was great and great lifestyle. We stayed in the Gold Coast, travel 40 minutes up to Brisbane every day. And before we knew it, after training, we were in the pub. Gambling, eating. Before we knew it, we were 20 schooners deep. Brilliant. But it was brilliant. What a way of life, and it was a great experience.
How was the standard of the football?
My brother-in-law's there. He's living there now, Declan. Declan McCardo, he's living there now. He's one of the Celtic lot. He's daft, so he asked me to give him a wee mention because he's in Brisbane, so he said he's going to be watching this later on.
How was the standard over there?
It was alright. Some good players, obviously. A few boys obviously go to Asia now because Australia's part of Asia now, and so they don't, they're not a free foreigner. We Matt Mackay, who was my wee roommate, great boy, love him to bits. We had some good players, definitely. Big Ronaldo, Big Oz was obviously my centre back, brilliant. My goalkeeper Liam Reddy, with the wee boy Enrique up front, big Sergio Van Dijk. So it was a great time, Some good young boys, obviously. Wee boy Robbie Cruz is playing in Germany now. Wee Mitch Nichols, I think, played in Holland. Wee Tommy Orrs at Ipswich. So all these wee boys were there and they were good players. They were coming on. Frank Farina was my manager. Frank Farina was a great guy. And then Ange Postecoglou came in and replaced Frank. And that's when the kind of club that I thought was going to go went like that, because I went to Gold Coast. And then he won 2 league titles in a row. So Ange Postecoglou won 2 league titles in a row, then he became the national manager. And he got to the World Cup, and then he just resigned. So he obviously knew more than I thought he was going to know.
And now, mate, you're doing a coaching school. Obviously, the Charlie
Football Academy, I do that at Torry Glen. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Games on the Sunday. I've got 9 teams now, so it's packed. Oh, it's unbelievable. It's so busy.
What do you try and teach the kids?
Just ball all the time. Try and get them on the ball. Warm up ball. Touches, head up. Touches all the time. Awareness. Just love the football, because a lot of people kind of want just pass, as we spoke about earlier, but just get the kids enjoying the football, get them loving it, get them to understand that the tighter they've got it, the harder it is for a guy to get the ball off them. And we've got some fantastic young kids, and every one of the kids that are at my academy are great kids. We've got some are better than others, which is normal, but it's up to us to kind of bring these ones on, and that's what we're hoping to do. And so we're getting there. We've got a tournament in Blackpool on the 30th of March. 5 of the teams are going down. 07s, 2 teams at 08 and 2 teams at 09. So I'm looking forward to that. It'll be a smashing event. The kids are looking forward to it, so can't wait.
Brilliant. You know, fancy management in it?
Of course, but you just keep on getting knocked back. I've done my B licence in Belgium and Norway. Norway, went top in Belfast a couple of years ago. Magic, what a week. But it's just hard to get in. There's that many people do the coaching, but I think I would do okay. I would be honest with players and just tell them what I thought, what I wanted. I'd make them enjoy training, because if the players enjoy where they work, players will play for you. That's what you want. So, but we'll see. By the way, I've got a football sevens tournament I'm starting for the men's amateurs. I'm involved with a guy for Dubai. So we've got a game on Sunday. Andy Gorham, Bobby Petter, Mark Wilson, Simon Donnelly, Alec Ray, Andy McLaren, myself, maybe Mark Birchall. We're playing a game doing it Torry Glen Sevens against 2 teams just to try and get it advertised a bit more. So if anybody's interested, come down and watch that. Should be a good wee day.
Perfect. Charlie, top man.
Football
Thanks
sevens,
very much,
by the way.
Top man.
Cheers,
Cheers,
thanks
mate.
for having me, pal. Cheers, guys.